Muchos saludos, raza. Tenemos el compadre Leonado. Compadre, ¿cómo estás, man?
Oye, estoy súper bien, súper contento. Me estoy tomando un café, ando bien prendido, compadre.
Oh, yeah. A nice cup of coffee does sound good right now.
Oh, yeah, man. I'm about to embark into some cardio after our interview because I went to Pollo Loco and they have a new stuffed quesadilla, dude. It was, oh, my goodness. It was like, ching, I broke the diet. That means I'm not to do cardio tonight.
Híjole, that's a pain.
Yeah, it is, man. But it was delicious, man. It was worth the pain.
Yeah.
What's going on, man?
Like when me and híjole, I bought like 2 pizzas the last time, and I know I had to walk it off. Like I walked about 10 miles that day. Pero,
yeah, that's how much it takes, and at least we try to counteract it a little bit. You know what I mean, with cardio.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand is the whole diet, stamina, like that all takes effects on your voice and how your stage presence is too.
Very true, man. It's very, very true. Cardio, being in shape, what you eat, even how you feel. I'll be in the studio, and if I had a tough day, it's hard for me to really perform at my optimum vocally because sometimes you're so busy throughout the day, so many things happen throughout the day, and then you have the studio in the evening. And it's not like I'm just hanging out at my house doing nothing, just preparing for the studio. No, I'm doing so many other things. So when you have either stress or some kind of emotional thing, the first place where you'll notice it as a singer is in your throat. It starts getting tight, because of the stress. So yeah, man. I mean, what we eat, and also I don't know if that's happened to you. When I eat something that's kind of heavy, it brings me down, bro.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? So you're right. Food is so important. That's why, I did mess up. It was early during the day. You know what? Get over it. Go run your ass off and you'll be okay. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And plus it's good just to clear your head too and just take that space, and just clearing your mind is awesome as well. And
that cardio definitely has that effect on you for sure, man. You're totally right about that.
And of course, I want to thank you too for coming on the program. This is the first time you have been on, but man, I have been following your career. Muchos éxitos, man, throughout, man.
I really, really appreciate it, man. Well, I'm glad we're here now on the show because I'm going back to my roots. There's a new song, Soy Feliz. It's a very special song. It's when I've been doing pop rock and Latin stuff like that for a while. And I wanted to go back to doing cumbias and with accordion and stuff like that. But, yeah, I'm just like my father. My father, when he was a drummer for Los Cachorros and Ramon Ayala, he innovated the way you play norteño and as a drummer. That's why he's admired so much still up to today in Monterrey. He's considered the best drummer, and they're doing a documentary on him right now as we speak. And I got that gene from him where it's like, okay, I'm going to do cumbia. I'm going to do, with accordion, I'm from the valley, whatever, but I'm going to put a twist to it, and the twist for me is the songwriting style. And in this song, man, where we really took a lot of time and care was on the bass line. The bass line, I wanted to be super groovy, kind of reggae-ish, punkish. You know what I mean? With a little bit of Red Hot Chili Peppers at the end, and it came as a person that grew up in the valley. We hear all sorts of cumbias. Cumbia from Salina, a cumbia from Control, all these different types of cumbias that we have. We have rock, we have funk, we have all these different genres that are in our heads. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that song "Soy Feliz" is kind of it's expressing unconsciously all these musical influences that we grew up here in the valley, and not only that, the song itself is very special to me because the first line was inspired by the movie Independence Day. I don't even remember back in the day of 1996, 97, 98, there was a movie came up called Independence Day. It was a huge film.
Oh yeah, Will Smith and
yeah. So yeah, and back then I was a big Beatle fan. I was still am, but especially back then, I was a big old John Lennon fan, and one of the lines that they were on the plane that we're about to take off, he says, all we need is love. A wise man said that, John Lennon.
Yeah.
And that was what that phrase stayed with me so much in my head. And my song starts with that phrase, un hombre sabio canta que solo necesitas amor para vivir, y lo que sentimos debemos decirlo hoy porque el mañana nunca sabe si llegará. And I think that phrase is so important right now with all the things that we lived this past 3 years with the pandemic. We now realize that, you know what, man? I know we always say it. Hey, tomorrow never knows, better do it today, whatever, tell you people. But the pandemic made it really, really real for us. You know what I mean? It's like, my goodness, our lives can change at a drop of a dime at any given day.
Yeah.
And this song kind of expressed that, and also it also expresses unconsciously my first conversion I had as a Christian back in the day, and I've met Christ through this girl that I fell in love with. So all these emotions, you know what I mean? All these beautiful moments are intertwined into this song. So that's why I decided to bring this song to be my first song, coming back to Tejano, Regional Mexicano, all this, coming back to our roots. That's why I chose this song to be the first one.
And it's a good choice. I really like the song. It matches with the rest of the music that has came out of yours, and it just matches your style, bro. Like I was like, oh my god, this is like listening to your other music today and just remembering like, oh shoot, like this was a good song too. Like all of it has been pretty good. Yo Te Amé, the piano version, like that, like the lyrics on that, bro.
Dude, that song is one of my best songs I've ever written. And let me tell you, my plan is to really focus on this new style because I'm going back to my roots in the sense that, like I said, I started back in the day when we were talking offline. I started with Norteño in Monterrey back in the day, and I had a lot of disillusion. My dad died back in '92, and he left a lot of people that he helped out tremendously. And I just assumed in my naiveness that these people were gonna back me up and help me out and stuff like that. And they all closed the doors on me. And so I moved on to what you've heard the past couple of years, pop rock, Latin pop and stuff like that. And I asked myself, what's keeping you from going back to your roots, And it was just that resentment that I had towards the industry. And I let it go. You know what I mean? I let it go, and I said, you know what, man? I'm gonna do it, man. Yeah, just forget about it. That's in the past. Let it go, and let's start moving. Let's start doing this back again today. You know what I mean? And I hear this first song that Soy Feliz, and I'm glad I did it, man. I'm so happy with it, so in love with it.
And plus, a big Beatles fan as well. Like that, like when you mentioned that earlier, I'm like, oh. I apologize for the dogs in the background, but
no worries.
Yeah, we're live, that's for sure.
That's very extremely live.
But for sure, like you mentioned that you're a Beatles fan, of course, John Lennon and just the Beatles in general, their songwriting, and like I'm just glad that you do those little imprints on the song of who inspired you and just those little things. And now when I go back and listen to the song, I can go and catch it, because that's what I love about these interviews, is that we can go and through this conversation, it's like, okay, this song is inspired by so many different other genres and things that most people don't really get to see.
Yeah, and this song, like going back to the song, so I'm telling you all these things about the song. I'm telling you. So you're talking about, I went on a date and I went with this girl to go see Independence Day. Later on, I met this other girl at a gig and I fell in love with her. She introduced me to Christ. and I'm like in love with her. I mean, like, oh my goodness, right? I said to myself, God knows me so well. You know, the only way we got my attention was with a woman, you know? And so then, but the last part of the song, bro, which many people really, really liked a lot as well. When I go, moribundo, vagabundo, criminal, es lo que era yo. So what I'm doing there is that as being the oldest in my family, and as the oldest in my family, everything was always my fault. Even if I wasn't there, it was still my fault because I'm the oldest. So I always felt like I felt guilty all the time, you know, like a criminal, you know. Yeah. That's why it says in the end, criminal in the house, you know what I mean? Because dude, everything was my fault. I was always a bad guy, but now I could take that guilt and that pain and that anger, and now I could relate it to Jesus Christ, because he was also, he was crucified as a criminal.
Yeah.
So for the first time in my life, I was like, oh, you know, wow, man, it just blew my mind. And this song, I hear it right now, and I'm like, wow, man. I mean, my goodness. But so what I'm trying to tell you, look how many moments came together to be able to write this song.
Yeah. Like it.
You know what I mean? A lot of these things came together. It's just, and then going back to, like you were saying, the music, you have to match the music to the lyrics, you know. And it came out really, really well, man. I mean, I'm just really proud of it. I'm so happy that you are backing me up, because I think right now in 2023 and going forward, we're in a time where artists need to take risk, come out with new and creative things, because the music industry is changing so much musically because of the internet. You know, I mean, the internet. I mean, everybody's doing singles because if you do a whole album, I mean, the album's gonna get old super fast.
Yeah.
So you do one single at a time, and you marinate and you grow it and you grow it before you do the album. Because if you do the album, I mean, okay, now what are we gonna do now? Oh shoot, we got to do another album. It's just life is going by so fast because of social media.
Yeah. And just this big change in the industry too, just knowing, all right, it's basically single based right now. And of course, like I love listening to the albums. I love going back and listening to full albums and like knowing the full story with the whole album. And it's like, okay, well, hey, like this song goes into this song, goes into this song.
Exactly, man. Yeah, bro. We grew up like that with I mean, when I was a Beatle fan, I mean, I'm still am, but I was a Beatle freak back then. And I had this friend of mine in my math class. I remember his name was Joey Flores. I never forget his name, dude. He's a cool dude. You know what he would do, bro? He knew I was a Beatle freak. Oh, dude, my mom has a whole Beatle collection, man, and I can sell you the album for $5 a pop. So he literally stole his mom's Beatle albums, dude, and sold them to me for $5 each. And yeah, so I went through that experience, like, oh my, the White Album, the Magical Mystery Tour album, the Revolver album, you know, the Abbey Road, and that experience that you're talking about is what unfortunately is what we are missing today. But I don't know if you noticed that there's a bunch of artists that are doing albums again. My little girl, she's about to be 13. I think a year ago, she got a record player and she's been buying albums.
Yeah. And that's, you know? And that's one of the favorite things I'm liking now. And that I'm seeing is like, okay, there's more albums on the shelf. And like, of course, I went and got the new Taylor Swift because it's like, okay, I have to get this. I have to see how this is.
Yeah, you know what? Taylor Swift is at another level, bro. I mean, she is. I highly respect her, man.
But of course, of the repressing of a lot of the Beatles albums as well. If I try and find them, I try and get them as well, because I don't know. I guess just the vinyl is so much better now than the way it used to be. Very true.
Yeah, so basically, right now we can experience music any way we want. You know what I mean? We can do it. We can go the vinyl. We can. I mean, shoot. I don't know about cassettes. I still have a cassette player somewhere in my
closet. They're bringing cassettes back también.
Wow.
I was like, híjole, everything's coming back. I'm just waiting for the VHS.
It makes a lot of sense because I mean everything's cyclical, but now that right now that has a lot more value now for us. You know what I mean?
Well, we grew up around that time, and it's like, yeah, that it brings back a lot of good memories. And
exactly, bro. You're killing me, Smalls.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like the Breakfast Club and all those movies. I mean, look, man, it's music, art is what keeps the human spirit,
alive,
bro. It really does, man.
And that's what a lot of people don't seem to get is like, hey, like I tell them, music is my life. Like whatever I find in music, it's my comfort zone. It's the place that I know. Okay, I know everything about. Like I try and do my research. If I don't know about an artist, I want to find out about an artist. Y también con TikTok, finding out about the artist and seeing like their feed go up or their viewers and all this goes up with them trying out a new song or them pushing a new song on that format. It's like, wow, like I didn't know about this cumbia artist. All right, let me go to iTunes and see if I can buy the music.
Yeah, like for example, speaking of cumbia artists, I mean, I can't even remember the name of the artist, bro. But Frontera just did a song not too long ago called Mis Ojos. Or Ojitos Rojos, I think.
Oh yeah, that's on rotation here on the station as well.
Dude, I didn't know that band that they featured with. I can't remember the name of the band, but I looked them up. They had like 2.3 million subscribers on YouTube, and I started listening to the songs. It's like, man, this is a damn good band. Wow.
And Grupo Frontera is helping us out as well to at least get a view, especially there in the Valley. I was like,
you know what, man? I totally agree with you 110%, man. I don't know. Right now, the magic is in the Valley. No doubt about it. And they're wonderful kids. I mean, I met them not too long ago at their VIP. They had a VIP for fans about maybe a month ago here in Mission. And it so happened that my best friend is a really good friend of the owner of the warehouse. So he called me out. Let's go with it. Yeah, let's go. But the thing about Frontera, in my opinion, is that they have a really good vibe. Just as people, they have a really happy vibe. They were open-minded because the producer that's producing them right now, Edgar Barrera, who is from the Rio Grande area, is producing them. But I've heard that Edgar Barrera came and offered to other bands, and other bands told him no, and Frontera told him yes. And look, what that yes has done to Frontera has taken their career to being number one in the world. That's record breaking. That's something huge for the Valley, for Texas. For our music.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
And that's one of the conversations I always have. It's like, well, Tejano is dying. I was like, no, it's not. It's making a return, but just in a different style.
Exactly. Look, man, are we ever going to have the 60s again? If you think about it, you that know music really well, think about the Beatles in the 60s, right?
Yeah.
You have like songs like Helter Skelter, Rain, and all these songs, right? And you listen to them, right? The Revolver album, Taxman, She Said, all these songs, right? And then you go to the 90s, and I said, oh, you know what, man? I think the 90s are the modern day 60s.
Yeah.
When it comes to rock.
Yeah, that's for sure. That I can agree with you with.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like even though like the Beatles did alternative, I mean, Rain is their alternative. You got so many bands that like, oh my goodness. So right now, because I mean, obviously technology changes, styles start becoming one. Like for example, banda and reggaeton. I mean, they're fused together now.
Yeah,
they're fused together with rap. You know what I mean? They're mixed together with mariachi. They're mixed. I mean, it's this music is this melting pot, and there's no limit to it. The thing is that the people that run business, the industry sometimes put the limits. But right now, I think because of the internet and because of the youth, I think those limits are being broken right now.
And that's one of the best things.
I agree with you. Look, if the Beatles were not about breaking all the standards, music would be completely different right now.
Yeah.
But because they chose to push the limits, break the standards, and take it to other levels, it changed music forever. It influenced absolutely everything. So the artists of today, right now, they're literally like Frontera, for example. They did a song with Bad Bunny. For example, I mean, even though we were open minded, I never thought Bad Bunny and Frontera would do a duet. You know what I mean? But you listen to it, and go, wow, man, dude, they killed it.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people might be upset about it or whatever, but man, you know what, man? Texas, we're making an imprint in the music world again at a global scale. And bro, you know what, man? It's time to take your music and put it out there right now, man.
Yeah, and that's what I keep on saying to a lot of artists too. Go take those risks. Whatever you feel is right, take that risk and see what happens. I was like, who knows? You might not be in the genre that you want to be, but at least you're hitting in a different genre, in a different spectrum that most of the artists don't get to see. Like, I'm seeing more Latinos in country right now that keeps on popping up in my feed, and it's like, oh wow, like they did this version, the country of an Emilio song, or they did this. Like they did a Ramon Ayala song in country.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And like, it's just interesting just seeing that right now and seeing the people experiment. And
yeah, I agree with you. We are in that phase right now.
And
I have this friend in Monterey he's a producer, but he's a kind of producer that's always experimenting, and so he's done some good things. But now everybody's looking for him in the norteño industry and stuff like that, because they know they need something different right now.
Yeah,
they need to find that little edge. You know what I mean? That little ear candy that's gonna grab and take their career to the next level, or keep them where they're at right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's where we're at right now. We are in the era where all these new ideas can literally make you a millionaire overnight because of the internet.
And that's the one thing. I take it back to like the 70s during that experimental musical phase as well.
Oh yeah, man.
I was like, bring it back to the Beatles, the way that they experimented as well. It's like, you see the same thing happening right now with these younger artists, and it's like, wow, like it just the risk in general.
Well, let me tell you something. Speaking of, let's go back to Tejano. Let's go back to Tejano history. And I was part of that history because of my father. So La Mafia was in the very beginning with Mi Loca Pasión and all those songs that they were doing. They were hitting, right? Really, they were doing really well. And I heard this from Mando Lichtenberg. Literally, I heard it from his mouth. But they knew, and my father is the one that got him into Mexico. But when they got to Mexico, they realized that they had to change their style. And when they changed their style, they exploded, bro. Like crazy. They realized they had to evolve a little bit.
Yeah.
And they did it. And it just, boom. I mean, the floodgates were just broken, man. I went to a bunch of the concerts back in Monterrey. I mean, they were huge, like crazy huge over there. But they had to do a modification.
And that's what a lot of bands do or need to do to at least keep on evolving.
Why is that? Why is Selena's album, Amor Prohibido album, still one of the best albums ever, man? If you listen to that album, man, dude, it's really ahead of its time. I mean, it's like electronic, the reggaeton, cumbia, mariachi, and all these genres pieces in one, and that album is still hip right now.
Yeah, and just the way AB produced that album as well. It's like
he was very hip. He was very because you can hear all the different types of influences that he has in his bass playing, the way he put things together, man. I mean, it's a very, if Selena were to come up with if it was alive right now, nobody knew her, she were to come up with that album right now, it would be huge.
Yeah.
That's how good that album is.
And I'm pretty sure Bad Bunny would be on it as well. Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right, 110%. Maluma will be there. Bad Bunny will be there. Who knows how many people would have been on that album? Yeah, you're right. I agree, 110%.
Because
and that's another thing that I know you're noticing, that all these young artists they're featuring each other.
Yeah, and
that's awesome.
And that's one of the other debates I keep on saying too. Oh well, reggaeton is more popular than regional mexicano, and that like yeah, it's all right, but we're all featuring each other. And after someone said that, it's like, okay, he got quiet. And it's like, well, estamos ayudando a la gente. Estamos ayudando a nuestra gente, the Latinos.
Exactly, man. You know what, man? This dude, just drop the division, man. We're all in it together. Let's help each other out, man. It's like, come on.
Yeah. And that's the same thing that Ruben Vela told me too when I interviewed him back in the day when I first started. He's like that he wanted everyone to try and experiment and try and, like, even Steve Jordan, when I talked to him about experimenting with music and how he got the idea to use the synthesizer. And it's like, wow, like this just came by experimenting.
Exactly, man. It's beautiful, man. Music is a beautiful thing, man.
That's the best part. That's why I love music. That's why I love talking to artists like you and seeing what's going on in that mind, man. Because it's like not too many people get to see or hear what type of mind an artist has, and like how they get their ideas and how song concepts come up. Because like most of them don't get to hear these type of interviews. Mostly it's everything else besides.
Yeah, very formal, and you like to go deep into like you said, to the mind, the psyche of the artist. Like when I was doing this, like for example, this song "Soy Feliz," the guy that helped me produce it, his name is Zach James. He's a gringo, and he's never really played cumbias. He played the bass he played a bunch of the instruments on this song. And I would so as producing your music and you're working with someone, you kind of like, okay, I know how to tell them this idea so you can understand, right?
Yeah.
So what I would tell them is, okay, bro, this song, pretend you're in a reggae punk band. Okay, we already have the cumbia beat, but now just pretend. Oh yeah. I used to play in a reggae punk band when I was growing up. Okay, cool. All right. That's how we're gonna approach the bass line for this song, because I think reggae and cumbia just they go so well
they
together.
Blend so well.
Yeah, they do. I mean, you can't go wrong with that combination. You know what I mean?
No.
And so that's, for example, the bass line. That's how Okay, and then at the end, okay, all right. Now we're here at the end of the song. Now pretend you're Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers. Okay, I got it. Cool. And it was such a fun thing to work with him because we have so many similar influences, and we have this. Okay, I know how to explain my idea real clear to him, and he understands it really clearly. So it was super fun to work with him, man. Super fun.
Now that seems like it was some fun studio sessions, like that.
Oh yeah, man. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's getting funner. I mean, we're working on more stuff, man. I have 3 singles lined up. I got this one and 2 more, and I'm already working on I'm already almost done with the 4th one, and it's gonna be crazy when you hear the 4th one, man. It's gonna, even the next song that I actually wanted. I was between this Soy Feliz, and I have the next single is gonna be called Vueltas, and I took it to a vote. There was a guy. There's a guy here in McAllen that owns a radio station. Regional Mexican. You know what, man? I go, you choose a song. I'm between these 2 songs, man, because those 2 songs represent me so well. And he goes, and he heard it, sent me a message that Soy Feliz is the one that's going to be the single. I go, okay, let's do it. But the 4th song that we're doing, it's almost done. Oh my goodness, bro! It went to I just can't believe how it's sounding. It's just We really are we're kind of like following the Soy Feliz concept, but it went to the next level musically. It's crazy. It just blows my mind. But we were having fun.
Yeah.
You know, we were having fun. As a matter of fact, we were like looking for drum effects and stuff like that, and I noticed there was some drum set that said Middle Eastern, Arabian. I go, oh, okay, you know what? Yeah, let's hit that. And all right, we started messing with it, and our next cumbia, the fourth single, or it might be the third single, to be honest with you. There's a part of it where Middle Eastern percussion comes in.
Now that sounds cool.
Dude, I mean, if I didn't go into the studio. Hey, sometimes I do go into the studio. Hey, I want this, I want that, whatever. For example, that fourth single, it's like, okay, you know what, man? My best friend wanted it to be a ballad, but the song is so bold and so strong and dark and honest. I go, no, I don't want to make it. If I make it a ballad, man, it's going to be even more. It's going to be even more bold, even more dark. And you know what? Now I'm gonna liven it up so it can be. Because if I make it an upbeat song, it's going to be an empowering song. And that's what the power of the tempo could do to a song.
Yeah.
If it's really slow, it's going to be, dark and it might be depressing or whatever. If I make it into a cumbia, so we were at the studio, bro, can you please pick up the on YouTube? Because he's a gringo. Put Los Caminos de la Vida. And it came out Los Diablitos. Okay. All right. This next song that we're going to do, that's the tempo we're going to do. So, he gets a tempo, whatever. Okay, that's the tempo we're going to do. And we did the song, and we're doing the bass line kind of like the way I told you. Now I don't have to tell him how I want the bass line because he already understands how we need to approach the bass line.
Mm-hmm.
And then since him and I, we play a lot together live on, and private events, stuff like that. There's a guitar things that I do that sound like James Bond. Every time I play it live, and he start, oh, James Bond, and I love it. And so we get to a part of the song where that James Bond guitar thing that I do was just perfect. I go, oh, bro, look, so I play, oh yeah, this is, and then all of a sudden we were messing with the drums, effects and stuff like that. And I read that, and I go, and we came up with it, bro, and it goes into this, like, James Bond. Imagine a cumbia goes into James Bond with the Middle Eastern. And then we did, the bass line this part, Rage Against the Machine. And then all these 12 guitar, because, right now, the artists, like Peso Pluma and all those artists,
yeah,
they use the 12-string guitar a lot. So that's one of the main instruments. So, we're also using a 12-string guitar. But this guy kills the 12-string guitar, so why not use it?
Yeah.
So he's doing this. We're doing this Rage Against the Machine bass line, and then we're doing this crazy Middle Eastern Spanish type of licks on the 12-string guitar, and then he doubles it and harmonizes it. It went to this whole different place, bro. Talking about pushing boundaries, and that's why I'm mentioning this little story, because that's exactly what you need to do in the studio.
Yeah.
Experiment a little bit, man. You might surprise yourself.
And that's what I love to hear. Like now I'm excited for upcoming music, because it's like, oh wow, I'll be excited once Leona Promotion sends it to me too, because it's like, when she told me that she was sending music out of yours, I was like, oh my god, it's gonna be fire. It's gonna be fire.
I'm so happy, man. I'm so happy I didn't disappoint you, man, because I was really, really with my fingers crossed, because I didn't know how the industry was going to take this song. But Leona's telling me, man, people are liking it. Yes. And people on YouTube, I mean, it really cut on YouTube. They're playing it at the regional Mexican station here as well, in McAllen. So it's getting, and I still think I'm gonna go to Matamoros and do a TV show there, Reynosa and Monterrey for Televisa, to promote the song. I don't know, man. I don't know. This song just brought a new life to me, man. You know?
And that's what I love to hear. It's like, because you hear something different from your older music, but yet it's still you.
Yeah.
And that's what I love, man. Like that.
Yeah, you know what? Because I have this Leonado trademark that I just can't get rid of, even if you put it into my head. You know, I just have this, and it is all based on the songwriting style. You know, and the way I think. You know, if for example, in this song "Soy Feliz," the way it starts, you know, and then I start with the and we have a 12-string guitar. We have an electric guitar, and we have a nylon guitar all at one time in the introduction. That's why it sounds so strong. And the bass line, going doom, 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 it's like it's really, really, really full. And then as we go down, we calm down in the first verse. And un hombre sabio canta que solo necesitas amor. And then we have a little keyboard effect in the back. We do a little dan 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 dan. And that little piece right there, that's the only place that it's in that we decided to put the effect just there. And then the accordion comes in, and then the accordion comes in, and then the slide guitar comes in. In a cumbia.
Yeah.
Slide guitar, you know what I mean? But just in that little piece, man, and it's like every little part to me, it's like it's a movie, it's a scene.
Yeah.
It's a different scene. And that's how I treat every part of each song. It's like a different scene, and there's got to be something there that's going to keep you interested in this storyline. You know what I mean? And that's how I approach every single song that I do.
And honestly, it's a hit. And for sure, like, I want to tell people to go and vote for it on Mas Chingon Countdown as well, so we can get this song into the top 20.
I would appreciate that very, very much, brother. Seriously, it would mean a lot to me.
Yeah, top 20 countdown, Mas Chingon, and just go. Where can they find you, bro?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel and Instagram channel, it has the same name, Leonado Music. Okay, YouTube.com/Leonado Music, Instagram.com/Leonado Music, TikTok, also Leonado Music. Okay, and then of course I have my personal page, Leonado Hernandez, but you can find me there as well. You put Leonado, more like Leonado Hernandez will come out. You guys can follow me there as well, and go to my YouTube. Oh, and obviously my Spotify channel as well. All my music, all of it, and that's the advantage we have as artists now, independent artists. I mean, we through CD Baby or TuneCore, your songs are absolutely in every platform possible out there.
Yeah.
So you like Spotify, you'll find me on Spotify. You like Deezer, I'll be on Deezer. You like Pandora, I'll be on Pandora. Like every other artist. But my YouTube channel, I love it because you can see all my music videos there. YouTube.com, Leonado Music.
And don't forget to like, follow, share, get involved.
Yeah, man, it would mean a lot to me if you guys can check it out. And if you like it, tell the whole world about it, because that's how any artist, we all depend on each other. I don't believe, honestly, I know I hear this a lot, and I respect them, but when people say I'm self-made, and I'll go, no, man, I'm not self-made, because someone gave me the opportunity.
Yeah.
Someone always gives you the opportunity to be able to show whatever we're selling, either tacos or music or whatever it is. Other people give you opportunities.
Yeah.
And then it's good, and people like it, and then you grow. You know what I mean? We need each other. So it would mean a lot to me if you guys can take the chance to listen to the Soy Feliz. And if you like it, it would be awesome if you would share it and talk about it on your platforms.
And of course, you can like and follow us and hear this interview again on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast as well, Spotify, SoundCloud, all podcast networks. We're going to be on this, so you can go and hear this interview over again as well. So that, and of course, with purchase links and all that underneath with Tejano Spotlight Radio Podcast. Leonardo, I want to thank you for being part of this program because this was amazing. Because I have been wanting to interview you, and I'm like, okay, when's a good time? When's a good time? And
this song opened, and that's another reason why I wanted to do this genre, because I think it would open up much more opportunity for interviews. And look at finally, we're talking because of this style that I finally decided to do again, and now we're here, and who knows what we're gonna do together now? You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, and of course you're open to come in, do interviews, and like we'll set up another interview later on, and just talk about music, man.
Anytime, brother. I'm game, and I really thank you for your time and the opportunity. And I've been hearing you guys. You guys have a really legit station, man.
Oh yeah, we are going next year 10 years strong, and we're completely independent. Like no outside resources, nada. All this is out of my own pocket. So,
well, congratulations, brother. You've done an amazing job, man.
Thank you, and you have been doing an awesome job as well. I'm so glad to have you on the station. And of course, I can't wait for the gente to see more awesome music come out of you because I'm just excited that you're back in Tejano, back in this genre. And of course, like go listen to his other music as well, because that other music is on fire too. Like honestly, like I have been a fan for a while. Listening to it, I have most of the songs on my collection on my other hard drive, and like I'm just so happy I got to interview you today.
I really appreciate that. And what I was going to tell you a while ago, but I totally forgot. I plan to do those songs that we were talking about. Yo Te Amé, Jezebel, Rumores. I plan to do them in this new style, bro.
Hey, that would be awesome. Because because it does have that feel like you can go through like 5 different genres on it as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm gonna do Burning. I'm gonna do Yo Te Amé, Rumores. I mean, I'm gonna go. I've been talking about best friend about it. Yeah, he goes, bro. I think you should do your other songs in this style, man. I go, yeah, no, I'm gonna do it for sure. I'm excited, man. It's like this going back to my roots, when I was growing up, all I saw was my dad either, play drums and produce and go hang out with La Mafia, go hang out with Amar Ayala, go hang out with other people because he would always give them songs and stuff like that. So I'm kind of like going back to that little boy again, where he wasn't like in awe with it. My dad to me was this monstrous man because he was so respected, and he was an animal on drums. He sang amazing. So I'm back getting that feeling again of like excitement, And
that you can hear it. You can hear it in the song that you do feel revitalized. You do feel a new presence in your music. And
yeah, because it's just having the accordion, man. I love the accordion, man. Having the accordion there. And the guy that plays the accordion, I have to give him his name is Cherry. He plays with a band called Los Más Románticos. It's a cumbia band here from
Oh yeah, if you guys haven't heard of them, go follow them. We have some of the music on the station. Híjole.
Yeah, Los Más Románticos, that Cherry guy, man. Jose Garcia, but great individual, man. And my goodness, he played some really, really good stuff on it. Like, man, bro. I mean, so happy that he was able to contribute with us. I gotta give a shout out to Los Más Románticos, especially Cherry. That he's an accordion player and lead vocalist of that band. I think there's 3 singers in that band. The guy that plays the guitar sings, a singer that just sings, and then him as well. Another great band from the Valley as well.
Yeah, like you guys in the Valley are kicking some butt, that's for sure. And just knowing that piece of information, también, that band, if you haven't followed them, go follow them. Because they have some hits underneath them as well. And it's like,
yeah.
And like, why haven't people heard of them? Well, I follow them on social media. You guys should too.
Yes, no, I agree with you, man. I mean, dude, it's a great band, man. I mean, you're right. The Valley right now, man. Like I said a while ago, we got the magic over here. I don't know what's going on over here, but it's working. It's flowing over here.
That's for sure. I just got a whole bunch of brand new music today off on the Valley, and it's like, híjole, and just having this interview, I'm glad that the Valley's showing what the Valley can do.
Exactly, bro. I am so happy, and thank you for all the support you give to music in general. We need to keep that alive, man. You know, we need to keep that love for music alive because that brings happiness. When you need hope, a song will bring it. You know what I mean? Like when you need to go to some party or you put some music on. Music it's our soundtrack of everything that we do.
Yeah.
You know, what would be life without music? Oh my goodness, that would be like
that's scary. That's too scary.
yeah, you have to live in communist China to experience that. But yeah, music. I love music. I love the USA, and I love Mexico, bro. I love the Latinos. Our cultures are amazing.
Yeah, it is. That's for sure. I love our culture. I love just the gente that's involved in the industry right now, and just seeing a lot of us actually trying to work together and trying to have something come out to now to like, okay, there's actually movement. There's more like, hey, you know what? Like this artist hasn't like received any love. Let's go and show this artist love and what they need.
That's awesome. And then we also have to give credit to people like Laura Science, you know, Leonado Promotions, that she's really pushing all these artists out there as well. You know, people like her, yeah, I really like making the difference.
Yeah, she makes a huge difference. Like she put a lot of brand new artists on the map.
Yeah, it's incredible, man. Very, very incredible. I've been wanting to work with her for a long time, but finally I said, this is a genre. I go, hey, what do you think? And she goes, you think people, Tejano Station will like it? She goes, yeah, they'll like it. Okay. All right, let's do it. Let's work together then.
Yeah, and she knows, man. She has that luck, and just knowing her past, like hearing we did a podcast together as well, and just knowing her past, her love for rock and all that, it's like, okay, yeah, I love rock music too. I love metal, and like, but my base is always Tejano and Conjunto, and it's like, yeah, like I like just seeing just the love of the music from her and her musical history with her family, and it's like, okay, we all have that background with musical families.
Exactly.
And that's the one thing I love to know about artists. It's like, okay, well, yeah, you have this musical background. Like your dad sounded awesome, man. Like from everything that you have told me, like you are lucky to experience all that.
Bro, when I was about 11 years old, I remember clearly, man. My dad, La Mafia, was playing the Casey Hall in San Benito, I believe. And I remember me being there. You know, I'm 11 years old, bro. You know, my dad would take me because I was the oldest. Hey, yeah, I need to learn the game. You know, and hey, you have to come with me. You know, you're the oldest. You need to come. I mean, it was a concert. It was a late night concert. They would be jamming, and I would be next to the big old Southern Vega speakers. Right next to him, asleep, bro. I mean, imagine in my ears. I mean, huge speakers. I'm right next to him, my head leaning to the speaker, and I'm falling, and I'm asleep, bro. Dude, I remember seeing them like, man, those guys were incredible since they just started, man.
Yeah, I'm still impressed, and just their track record, and just hearing all the new music now that they have been doing and experimenting with. It's like, yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, me too, man. I admire those guys a lot, man. They're good guys. Oscar's a great guy. The ones I've spoken to the most throughout the years have been Oscar and Mondo, and great guys, man.
And I always see the bass player at work too, and talk to him every once in a while. Like with my job, I'm just happy I get the opportunity to go and talk to a whole bunch of artists and at least see what they do, and go and see them relax and see if they want to do an interview or not, or if they just want to tell me about what's happening to them, and it's just there at work, a little 5-minute conversation, and next thing you know, it's like, okay, we're there talking for an hour and a half about music.
That's awesome, man. That is beautiful, dude. That is beautiful, man.
Yeah, I want to thank you for coming on to the show, bro, and for sure, would you like to introduce your latest single?
Yes. Well, guys, my name is Leonado. It's a pleasure to be with you guys, and I want to thank Daniel Romero for this opportunity. I want to introduce my new concept, my cumbia. Soy Feliz, Criminal in the House.
Un hombre sabio canta que solo necesitas amor para vivir, que lo que sentimos debemos decirlo hoy, porque el mañana nunca sabe si llegará. Cada minuto que pasa estoy pensando en complacerte y en el amor que has clavado